Hey, everybody. Welcome to Pink Shade. It's Monday. It's Mugshot Monday. I'm here with Keisha to talk about Love After Lockup. Ooh, Keisha, what do we got? We got season 5D, episode 38, whatever. It's called Hide and Seek. Hide and Seek.
I have to say one thing before we begin.
Okay.
I have to thank everyone who has messaged me about sushi.
So
Uh,
worried. So worried.
he he says thank you to all of you guys. He is doing great.
Good.
Look, this was like the third time since we've had sushi that he has made us think that he was dying. And one of those times he was completely faking, and I didn't even know dogs could fake until it was like $800 later, and the doctor said he's totally faking because he didn't like the cat being in the house.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he's going to fake it.
So
He's going to fake dying to get rid of the cat.
soon as we got rid of that cat, I had that cat go live with my mom. New money. He totally faked. Yeah. Like we had our family members coming over saying, wait for us to come to say goodbye before, yeah. But I researched it, and dogs do fake illnesses when they don't like something, or if they do like something, they fake. And yeah.
That's hilarious. And so, but this time
hmm
he wasn't faking blindness. He was blind briefly.
No, he was blind briefly, which is just like the weirdest thing. He went to the vet and he was hamming it up. He was being his natural mean self, and they thought it was the cutest shit on the planet.
So
The
cute.
doctor's like, put him down, let me see him. And he's just walking around like he owns the place. And the doctor, who's like ancient years old himself, he even was laughing at him. I'm like, well, my ass wasn't laughing when he was walking around blind.
No, so
So yeah,
scary.
it's very,
Oh.
very scary. But he is on the couch right now as we record, like he
Mhm.
is every time, and he's been just fine. So
Okay,
thank
so
you guys.
it
Thank you.
wasn't
Thank you. Thank
the
you.
food, it was just he's
the
old.
doctors the doctor says, he's like, I highly doubt that it was the food. It's just he's getting older. He goes, it will probably eventually happen. And I mean, he says it's just like with humans, like shit just starts going down the older that you get. But
But you're
the
not, like, fully blind for 3 hours and then your sight comes back, like, that doesn't
I know.
happen.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. The doctor's like, very strange. I was like,
Or I wonder if he faked that to show you that he doesn't like that food.
well, I tell you what, he did a damn good reenactment of Stevie Wonder for 3 hours.
Mhm.
Didn't agree. No, he was totally serious. Like he couldn't see shit. Like we would do like this, he couldn't see. Like he let James get by him and didn't try to bite James.
Yeah.
That's how we knew he was back to full normal, like with his sight.
Yeah.
We did the test. I had him in the bed with me. We thought he was seeing again. I said, James, put him in a bed, try to give me a hug. He damn near jumped and bit James's face off. Like, oh,
Well, I told, so this episode comes out on Mondays, and then on Tuesdays, I record for 90 Day with Kimberly, and on that
mm,
episode, I said, "Here's the update.
uh-huh.
I found out what happened with Sushi. Sushi's fine, everybody." And Kimberly didn't know the story. I was like, "It's a long story, but
uh-huh.
Sushi was blind, but now he can see, so he's fine." Yeah,
Praise the Lord. That's all I can say. Yeah.
bless.
Yes.
Well, this is a chock full episode, and hide and seek, and I guess we're referring to Christine having to hide in the
Mm-hmm.
attic.
In the
Um,
attic.
so let's talk about Shantae and True, because you have done some hashtag journalism and have found out some stories about these two. So tell me what you heard.
I I never wanted to quit this podcast before until I had to listen to the stupid shit that Shantae said. I felt so unintelligent and stupid after listening to her. I've never heard a person talk in circles who wasn't like a deadbeat dad running away from child support and responsibilities. It
Right.
was
Okay.
something's wrong with her. Like,
Well, okay.
I don't even know.
I read on one of those
Okay.
threads that Love After Lockup, like uncensored, whatever, and she's in that group. And I
Okay.
read somebody wrote in that group that
Uh-huh.
True was living with the other Shantae, the girl from the gym,
Okay. Hmm.
and maybe she also got pregnant.
I heard that rumor as well.
And that when he went back to Shantae number 1,
Hmm.
Shantae number 2, that's when she got mad and called his mom and got him in trouble with his PO.
Hmm.
and said he couldn't live there. And then Shantae 1 and 2 got into a fist fight, and Shantae number 1 lost the twins.
She would not confirm nor deny anything about the twins.
Okay.
She keeps alluding to a pregnancy. She stated, and I don't know if we heard it on this episode or we're going to hear it, that at 14 weeks, her obstetrician scheduled a C-section for her in July.
No.
Now, I didn't go to medical school.
14 weeks is no.
Too early for a doctor to say, we're going to do this. And everything she says, she blames it on lupus. Like she said, no, those are not her teeth. She lost her teeth because of lupus. She's like, no, I'm not really boring. I felt that way because I had lupus. So
Okay.
everything. So in this one of 12 lives, she was saying that during the pregnancy, she went into kidney failure. Her liver wasn't doing well. Like all these things were going wrong.
Okay.
Which that could be very, very much true. I don't
Yeah.
know. So, according to Amber, the blogger, found out about some girl who True is messing around with. So,
Mhm.
Shantae is trying to answer questions about that. She's saying that she and True are still together.
Mhm.
He's there with her probably 4 to 5 days of during a week.
Mhm.
What did he have the other days in? I'm assuming he's with the other girl and she's being okay with it. She's like, I'm aware of this other girl. I'm not going to 100% believe what she says. I'm not going to 100% believe what True says, but I know he's here 4 out of 5 days, 4 to 5 days out of a week.
Okay, so on the other days, is he living, air quotes, with his mother, or is he with this and he says he's with his mother, but he's with this girl? Like, what's the story?
I don't fully think True is denying anything. I think he 100% has another girl. When he's
Uh-huh.
not there with Shantae, they have come to some kind of agreement that that is
Okay.
okay because he's going to do what he wants to do anyway.
Right.
So she also said that we're never going to see True's son on television,
Mhm.
and we're never going to see any future children of True's on television, alluding again to that they have had twins. Okay. She also kept saying when people were like, why don't you leave True? Why don't you leave True? She goes, we can't just break up like that. It's not that easy. So then I'm like, did they get married?
Uh-huh.
Because what other reason would there be that you can't just break up with this person? And she
Right.
said that numerous times.
I
And
wonder
I'm
if it's
just
because 'cause
like,
they're on TV together.
we've seen people break up that have been on this show.
Yeah, because it said because the thing that I read about Shantae 1 and 2 had the fight, and Shantae 1 lost these twins, but that she is currently pregnant with a single baby.
I have heard that too. But during these lives, she kept alluding to the twins. For example, in tonight's episode, we see her go to do the ultrasound, sound correct?
Right.
And then she walks out. She said that that happened because True did not want the first time that he saw his babies to be televised. He didn't want the crew to be there or anything like that. So she said that WeTV had already scheduled for her to go and do like this is like that 3D ultrasound
Yeah,
place that
yeah,
they're
yeah.
going to.
Well, they just
So
go
that's
and
why,
pay to do it, yeah.
yeah, she said it was that. That's why she went in and went out. She said the following day they already had an ultrasound scheduled and True was there. None of this makes any sense, Mary Payne. It
No.
is constant talking in circles, never fully answering any kind of question. She also said you guys would never see any of their future children because people don't know how to act. She had posted a picture of her grandchild, and someone said that the grandchild was ugly.
Well, that's what happens on the internet, by the way. I mean,
Yeah, yeah. So she said that none of True's future children will ever be on there, alluding again to them having had the twins.
that the
So
twins are here and that she's pregnant again. Is that what we're nobody listen, I also am not a doctor, but I do know that you cannot give birth at 14 weeks.
no, 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 no. She didn't say that. She was 14 weeks. She said that her doctor scheduled a C-section for her in July. I don't believe that. No doctor would schedule a C-section for someone when they're only 14 weeks to be scheduled all the way in July. How do you know
No.
she's going to need the C-section?
It could be because she's had 3 other C-sections and she's,
Perhaps.
advanced stage or, whatever. But
But
so
at 14 weeks,
but
they would
no,
already do that?
they would probably do it when you're about 6 months. About 6 months.
I think at 6 months
Yeah.
they'll say, hey, you know what? We're going to go ahead and schedule your C-section for this
Yeah.
date. I don't
Yeah.
think they would do that as early as 14 weeks. I mean, you're still pretty early.
I don't either, but lots of other people were confused. I saw on that post on Facebook saying that what you're saying, scheduled it for 14 weeks, sounds like she's going to have the babies at 14 weeks when of course they have to go to
No.
38. So that makes no
Yeah,
sense.
no. She
But
said
other
that
people thought that
14
too.
Yeah, she's saying basically, I know I'm 14 weeks, but my doctor is already going to schedule ahead of time when my C-section is going to be, which I
Huh.
still think that was kind of early, but
It sounds
whatever.
like we have no answers.
Not a one.
Huh.
But she's done like 5 lives saying the same thing. And she speaks so horribly. Someone goes, "How many times are you going to say She's like, um. It was bad. I was
I
like,
know.
"Why? I don't know." Mm-mm. Yeah.
Well,
She's as stupid as True is. I think True is the smarter of the two. That's saying a lot.
yeah, and you wonder if
After
she's trying
these
to
lives.
yeah, if she's saying I just can't break up with him because are we supposed to believe that they did in fact open some sort of restaurant together? I mean, no, I don't think so.
She did also say that her restaurant is supposed to open in like a month or so.
Oh, and she's, like, pregnant right now and is gonna open a restaurant and has adult kids and grandkids living in her house, huh?
Unless she had those twins in July where when the doctor scheduled the C-section. She also said that she has 7 grandchildren because she's got a mixture of her grandkids and then other kids that she has taken care of that see her as a mom and they have kids too. It was a
W
lot. It was
wow.
so much yet nothing at all. And I probably
Yeah,
sound very
right.
stupid like reporting this, but I'm just reporting what I heard. So
But I did
don't
ask you
fault
to do
me.
it. I did ask you to do it, so I
And
appreciate
I
your hard
and
work.
and I hated you after I did that. I say, you know what? Next
But
time
now
she gonna have to listen to Shantae because I'm not doing it again. It was horrible.
oh
Like,
my god.
wow.
Let's get to the
Yeah.
episode, it's so funny.
Yes, please.
Okay. So the next morning, I guess he got into the bed with her in the night and she was like, "It was nice for
Yes.
you to be in there." And he goes, "Yeah, it's nice," but nothing happened. He just got in the bed with her probably because he was like, "I can't sleep on this like love seat," I mean, he's
Futon
huge.
thing that she has in there. Yeah.
And he went and got her some baby stuff. So I guess he brought that when he came. It looked like some like pink booties and blue booties.
Yeah. Mhm.
And did you notice when they go to the ultrasound, he's in all blue and she's in all pink?
I didn't notice the colors, but I did notice that she had on 2 jackets
Uh-huh.
that were each 3 sizes too small.
Uh-huh. She's
I don't know
really
if you
leaning
noticed that or
in
not.
she's really leaning into putting that waistband of her pants below her stomach, which, by the way, my stomach could look like that on a Wednesday. I could look pregnant too if
It
I
could.
put my clothes underneath my gut and just let it all hang out and didn't suck it in.
And give me a bowl of chili, yeah, my stomach's gonna look like that too. So she's really trying to
Yeah,
we get it. You're pregnant.
we get it. You're pregnant.
Yeah.
And so she's saying, she's got this ultrasound, but she doesn't want him to come because she doesn't want to experience anything with him and then him decide next week to leave. Which, I think is kind of a good I was kinda like, why would she care if he comes? I guess she doesn't wanna have any,
Yeah.
like, special moments with him if he's just gonna ditch.
Well,
And she
I mean, what about birth?
right, well, that would be pretty special, yeah.
Yeah, I think so too.
He then tells us he has a 15-year-old son. Now let's remember he's 31. So he's a
Mhm,
15-year-old son, and he's missed him so much, but he's only seen him one time in person, and he could hold him in his hand. So as he's seen him grow, he just can't believe, like, "Wow, I've really been in here a long time."
mhm.
So if he's in prison for 13 years, the kid's 15, he only saw the kid one time when he was born.
So he went 2 years without seeing the baby before he went to prison.
That's what it sounds like to me. Yeah.
Okay.
So, in the car, he goes, "I've got a great idea for the kids, boy and girl. We'll name them True and Truly." And she goes, "No." By the way, I think Truly's kinda cute.
I thought he said true and truth.
Oh, I thought I said True and Truly. I was like, "Truly's cute for a little girl named after the dad, Truly." I thought that was kinda cute.
Isn't that also the name of like one of those White Claw seltzer drink
Oh,
things?
mhm. Truly's. Yeah,
Mhm,
Truly's are not as
mhm.
good as High Noons. High Noons are where it's at.
I don't want either of those.
If you ever have to try any of those, try the High Noon because it's just like a vodka
I know.
soda is what it is. It's just like a vodka
Ooh,
soda in a
okay,
can. Yeah.
okay.
Um, so okay. So he says, "I do worry for the next ultrasound, I could be on house arrest or in prison." I haven't told her about that yet. So Shantae, God, excuse my yawn. I was at the pool and man, am I tired as the sun. So, Shantae goes to the appointment and she says, being there alone feels lonely and not right. And then she gets up and walks out and she says, she'll wait and come back once her man can come with her. And they're like, okay, see you tomorrow. I mean, I don't know.
At this point, I doubted that she was pregnant.
But why didn't she just go out to the parking lot and go, hey, come in? Like,
I don't even think she had to say, "Hey, come in." She could have just waved her hand
yeah,
and just
that made no
for him to
sense.
come. I feel lonely. I don't want to do this alone. I feel
He's
like
in the
he should
parking
be
lot.
here. He's in the parking lot, sitting on the hood of that Infinity outside.
And she
What's the
says, and the thing
problem?
you saw, she said they already had an appointment scheduled for the next day.
Yeah, they said that so she also said that True was very upset with WeTV for scheduling this appointment. Like they went back and forth for 2 hours. He's like, "We're not filming this. My first time seeing my kids." Like she said, he totally cussed them out
Huh.
about
Okay.
this.
All
And I'm
right.
like, it's not that serious. Just I don't get it. These two share half a brain.
Yeah, I think that's right. So why she couldn't just go get him in the parking lot, I don't know.
I
And
don't
then she
know.
went outside and said the appointment was fine. And obviously he knew she wasn't telling the truth or they had planned it because or he would ask more questions. Like,
I
what did they say? How are the heartbeats? Are they growing?
She
Nothing.
didn't do herself any favors because everyone's like, she's not pregnant.
I know.
She's not pregnant.
I
I
know.
mean, she didn't make herself look good right here.
Yeah, a lot of people are saying she's not even pregnant, and I don't like that because I don't want I don't like that.
I know.
I
I
don't like
know.
that. So now they're gonna so well, mystery unsolved.
We don't know. Yeah.
So they're having a family game night, and it's gonna be the all the kids and the grandkids and her friend Janiyah. That's her best friend that we've already taken to wig court. Um,
Yeah.
I had a great idea for like a little side episode we could do, Keisha. Just
Okay.
like a little bonus. We gotta get but it would take some time. I have to take a picture of the screen of every single wig from Chimp Crazy and then dissect each wig.
And she had so many wigs.
So many wigs. So
I
many
mean,
wigs.
and then like the eyelashes, which I'm all about my eyelash extensions, but
Yes.
hers were bad. Then we had the horrible lip plumping situation going on. But
Yeah.
boy, is that woman confident.
Well, that's right. Because I was just thinking, wouldn't that be great? And then we could name them all. And then at the end, we
Yeah.
could have a contest and decide who were the top 3 winners.
Yeah. That's
Okay.
a good idea.
I don't
Look
have
at you
any
thinking over there like a producer.
I know, and I don't have any time this week because I'm going to Mississippi and I don't know. Well,
You
I'll think
are.
about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
All right, family game night. So her friend Janiyah is going to come over and the kids and the whatever. So Shantae says this will be a good chance for True to see if he can like blend in with the family, get along with the family. And he's all like, I'm going to kill you in every single game. And she's like, you couldn't even play Connect Four. They would play Connect Four on the phone. Can you explain to me how that would work? Connect
Yeah, I
Four
guess
on
you
the
just
phone?
tell the person to put your chip where you want it. I mean, I would cheat my ass off if I was playing it with someone in prison. I'd be like,
But
"Oh, you didn't win." Yeah,
but if he can't see the board, then how would he
I
know?
know.
Like number
Unless
6
it was a
down 2.
video
Yeah,
visit.
I don't know.
It's True and Shantae.
Right.
Period. So
Right.
nothing is ever going to make any sense at all.
So they're at home, and she says she never told her kids exactly how the breakup happened, just that they decided to break up, except for your daughter at the baby store seemed to know all about it. But
Mm-hmm.
she wasn't there at this fun
Mm-mm.
event. All
Mm-mm.
right. So
No.
again, it makes no sense. So Janiyah comes over and she's asking him about what he does for a job and stuff. And he says, well, I work at the casino by, gambling. And she goes, uh-huh. So you need to get like a W-2 and you got to get your
Right.
government forms. And she
Yeah.
goes, you don't like clock in and clock out. He goes, I give him my ID when I gamble. And she goes, I know how casinos work, but it's not a real job. He goes, it is. I'll get taxed on it. I was like, oh my God, this guy. So
And I'm
Janiyah,
surprised that his part of his probation isn't that he has a job.
right.
Well, never mind. He doesn't listen to his probation officer
Well,
anyway.
that's right.
So there you
Yes,
go.
that's
Yeah.
right, right.
Hmm.
Maybe he'll find that out. So, and outside, Janiyah's talking to the cameras and she goes, it's heartbreaking because Shantae just wants a happy ending and a happy life, but this guy's not it. Like he's
Yeah.
going to be using her for everything. So, then Janiyah says, so you're going to be around for all the doctor's appointments and the ultrasounds. And he goes, yeah, I'm going to be there for every single thing just today you went and did sat okay. And I'm gonna
Mhm,
be there for
mhm.
everything. And there's something I should tell you because I'll be there for everything unless I'm on house arrest or back in the joint. But why didn't he say right then, but you had an ultrasound today and didn't let me go? You know what I mean? Like
It's very confusing.
it's
Yeah.
yeah, it is.
Mhm.
So Shantae says, now why would you be on house arrest or back in the joint? And he goes, the PO says he's gonna violate me. So I gotta go see my PO tomorrow. And so I just wanted to see if you wanted to go with me over to Cape, which is Cape Girard, where he lives.
Right.
Go over to Cape Girard with me just in case, like, that's the last time I see you for a while. And she goes, tomorrow morning. He goes, yeah. She goes, no, I got to uproot my life, find somebody to take care
Mhm.
of the kids, get off of work because you're telling me this right now. And you already told me you're leaving early in the morning. And then
And she should have said no.
and Janiyah goes, yeah, I don't know what the deal is. I mean, she's going to drive there and just watch you get put in prison. And then
It makes no sense at all.
he goes, if she can't rock it out with me, why am I wasting my time with her? Excuse me?
Oh my god.
So she
They are, like I
agrees.
said, because they're both stupid. Like, this is the epitome of stupid. Right here, these two right here. They're
Mhm.
a comedy duo.
They are.
Just
They
it
are.
just you have to laugh at them because they're just equally dumb.
So she hugs him and says, yeah, I'll go. All right. Now she's following him to Cape Girard in two different cars. And she calls him, is like, why are you driving so fast? He's like, oh, I just can't help myself. I was like, Again, why are you doing anything that would slightly be breaking the law?
That's
So
just what he does.
in the talking head, he says, I'm prepared for the worst. I'm prepared that they're going to send me back to prison. I've just got to like prepare for the worst. That way, if that doesn't happen, I'll be, happy. But I got to, in my
Right.
mind, I got to put myself back in jail. But it feels so good that she's going with me and has my back. Now, remember, she took the separate car because if he gets violated and put back in prison, she's got to have a way to get home.
Exactly.
Support for today's episode comes from HoneyLove. HoneyLove has revolutionized the wireless bra game. Their bras feature supportive bonding that eliminates the need for uncomfortable wires and unnecessary bulk. You deserve a bra that's lightweight and comfortable without sacrificing support. Embrace freedom, flexibility, and comfort with HoneyLove's wire-free bras. Plus, they're made with a fabric that's so soft you will forget you're wearing it. For a limited time only, you can get HoneyLove on sale. Get 20% off your entire order with our exclusive link, honeylove.com/pink shade. Support our show and check them out at honeylove.com/pink shade. For a limited time, you'll get HoneyLove on sale, 20% off your order. Honestly, guys, I am so sick of the bras that cause that bulging in the back. You put it on, it looks great from the front, and you turn it around and you've got like spurts of back fat. It's just not cute. But HoneyLove's bras are designed with a back smoothing fabric that prevents that bra bulge in the back. And did you know HoneyLove has more than just bras? They have incredibly comfortable shapewear, tanks, and leggings for everyday support. HoneyLove has you covered for the everyday look, workouts, weddings, and more. Honeys, you need this in your life. No more sacrificing. You've earned it. HoneyLove is not just supporting women, it's empowering women. Treat yourself to the best bras on the market and save 20% off at honeylove.com/pink shade. Use our exclusive link to get 20% off honeylove.com/pink shade, and you can find your perfect fit. After you purchase that, say, hey, where did you hear about us? Please support this show and tell them we sent you. Elevate your comfort, elevate your style with bras that empower your lifestyle of flexibility. You guys know what time it is? In my house, the time is always, hey, what's for dinner? Hey, are we ordering dinner? Hey, are you making dinner? Mom, what are we doing for dinner? You guys, this is the dreaded question that comes up every day in my house, usually around 4 p.m. And inevitably, we will order takeout. It's easier, but it's never satisfying. It's never what we want. We always fight about what we want. And then it arrives, something is wrong. And then you feel kind of gross because, like, why did we order takeout 2 nights in a row? And we spend way too much money. So, if you'd rather enjoy a home cooked meal without the stress of planning ahead, Home Chef makes it easy to save you money. You guys know I love my Home Chef. I get so excited when the box arrives. I get 2 to 3 meals a week, usually 3 meals a week that will feed us. And it's going to be something that I'm going to make myself. They give you the pre-portioned ingredients, and then I make it myself. And then I can make it to what I like, right? If somebody in the house likes a little more jalapenos, I'll put a little more on their section. Or if, like me, I like no mushrooms, you can make it how you want it. The ingredients are there and it's up to you. And it's so easy with the cleanup because you haven't gotten out a bunch of extra stuff, or you didn't have to go to the store to buy like 4 ingredients that you're only going to use once. It's economical. Home Chef customers save an average of $86 a month on groceries. You guys, they even have delicious kid-friendly family menu with 18 new options each week. I have used those before because I do have some picky eaters in my family, even though none of them are technically kids, but it's picky eater approved and it'll take the stress out of dinner time. So you guys, I'm highly recommending Home Chef to you guys. And for a limited time, Home Chef is offering my listeners 18 free meals plus free dessert for life. And of course, free shipping on your first box. You're going to go to homechef.com/pinkshade. That's homechef.com/pinkshade for 18 free meals and free dessert for life. You heard that right. Homechef.com/pinkshade. Must be an active subscriber to receive free dessert.
Yeah.
So, in the talking head, she says she's 15 weeks pregnant. She's scheduled for a C-section on July 28th, and she doesn't know what she's going to do if he gets violated and has to stay there because she doesn't want to live in Cape Girardeau. Her friends or family lives in Independence or wherever that is.
Mary Payne.
Yeah.
How many days has Shrew? How many
Yes.
days has Shrew been at Shantae's house?
It seems like one.
And she was 14 weeks pregnant, correct?
Right.
One day later, she was 15 weeks pregnant. I'm just saying.
But wait, so also if she said they went to get a sonogram the next day, how did they get
they
it
didn't
the
make
next
that
day?
appointment. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah.
We're not going to be able to figure this out. We're not going to be able to figure this out.
We would have to dumb ourselves down to the ground to be able to figure out anything that is going on with these two people because we're just not that goddamn dumb. We're not.
I cannot figure it out. I cannot figure it out. So then he calls some girl, okay, and he goes,
Mm-hmm.
"Hey, I'm 20 minutes ahead of Shantae." So he's 20 minutes ahead of her. That's why he was speeding. So he meets up
Yes.
some girl in the parking lot, and they make some like kissy face noises.
Mm-hmm.
And the producer asks who that was, and he says, "I plead the fifth." And then Shantae calls him and was like, "Where are you?" She goes, "I'm 1 minute away from you," because he's given her the address to his mom's house, I guess.
The
And
hotel.
oh, a hotel, because she was
Yeah.
gonna pay for the hotel. She
Mm-hmm.
goes, "I'm 1 minute away from you. Where are you?" And he goes, "Oh, I've already been in Cape George for like 5 or 10 minutes. I got lost." She goes, "You got lost in your hometown? You got lost?" He goes, "I mean, I took the wrong exit because it's dark." Well, you have lights
Now,
on your
Mary
car.
Payne,
Yeah.
well, I have missed an exit or two at nighttime because it's dark and my ass is half blind. So
Well,
I'll rock with him a little bit
yeah.
on that. But I have to say, women, we have got to do better. We need to have higher expectations of these men. If you have to meet a man in a parking lot, that is not your man. Don't do that.
No.
No.
No. It was something about his
Stop.
coat or something, and
Yeah, she bought him a new coat.
And by the way, his clothes are way too tight.
I think it's because he wants his muscles to look even bigger, Mary Payne.
Yeah, I mean, he's got
Wants
some
to look
outfits,
bigger.
though. He's got some Sheen outfits for sure.
That's why they're so small, because they're from Sheen and he didn't read the reviews correctly. You know, you got to study a Sheen review for like 2 weeks before you order to make sure the sizing is right. So
You're like, I
that's
could
what
be
went
an
wrong.
extra small or I could be a 3X.
Yes,
I don't know.
exactly.
I don't know.
Right.
So when he says like, "Yeah, I missed my exit, it's too dark," she goes, "Okay, true."
Yeah.
Okay.
He just knows he's lying.
And the talking head, she says, "True has issues he needs to address, and I wanted to work with him, but I've come to terms that it just might not work out." Okay, well,
But you're still with him,
still
so
on our TV.
yep.
Let's move on to Julian and Christine, the hide and seek, the adult hide and seek, where nobody ever finds her. I guess
That's
she's
right.
not allowed to like get off the bed or walk, because if somebody's walking above you, you could hear it.
There's so many questions with this right here. I don't know if he's feeding her tea cakes with like rat poison on it, like in flowers and
to make sure she
She's like,
lays on the bed for 9 hours straight. Yeah.
the bitch just won't die. She's still here. But it is a very weird situation there.
Yeah. Well, with these 2, it's another day, another choker. Just another day,
Oh
another
God, yeah.
choker.
Hmm.
Christine tells us she's now working at Ram's Head, which, by the way, I know of very well. It's a huge music
Oh,
venue in
really?
Baltimore. Yeah. So, like, if somebody came to play that was like a small band that you loved, right, back in the
Okay.
day, that's where you would go. They wouldn't have
Hmm.
like huge bands that could play arenas, but it's like, I'm trying to think of who I've seen there. I've seen some musical acts there. Like, I think maybe Tom Sandoval and the Most Extras played there,
Oh,
like a small
that's the
band.
that's the guy from Vanderpump
Yeah,
Rules,
mhm,
the
yeah,
jerk guy.
yeah, mhm.
Okay.
Uh,
I just have to give it up for Christine because we're not used to seeing the people who get out of prison and get a job this quick.
right. Get a
Yeah.
job right away, and we're not used to the venues just being like, "Sure, you can film in here and say what we are. Any press is good press," you know?
And did you notice her jaw wasn't as bad?
Her job wasn't as bad this episode. Her body was
Yeah.
moving quite a bit, but not her jaw, so maybe it moves around.
Not her, but
Well, it was. It was. It
he said it
was.
moves around.
Her
It's
body.
just going it's just going to be our feet at some point, right?
Well, they were showing it. The cameras were zooming in on her hands moving and her
Ah.
body, and so, and by the way, Bunky Sean did say she thinks it's tardic dyskinesia, and that's what it is, and it is from years of meth use, or the TD can be from years of drug use. There's another name for it as well. Years of opioid abuse can cause it, and she did say, like somebody else said, you can't reverse it. Like, once you have it, you have it.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I wonder why it was so much better this episode than it has been all the other episodes.
Maybe now she's got a job, she can afford to get some meds,
Okay, okay.
you know?
Let's go with that. Let's go with that.
So, she says, she lives on the 3rd floor of the house. The kids live downstairs. And she's like, welcome to my attic. Here's where the kids live.
Yeah,
She hasn't met them. She has to hide upstairs for 5 to 6 hours at a time.
that is
It's crazy.
it's
It's
just
crazy.
it's really yeah, that's not normal. Mm-mm.
So, he comes home from work and she says, how was your day? And he goes, oh, it's rough with beep, his ex. And, he says he did tell the ex that he was dating Christine. She took to the Google and found Christine's mugshots and bank robbery pictures. So things have been pretty tense with the ex. And I'm sure the ex is like, the kids can only come over if that prisoner is not there. And he's like, she is not here where they can see her, you know?
Which is technically correct. A
Yeah.
lot of people don't like Julian because of what he did, like how he's handling this situation.
Hmm.
And granted, I don't think it's the best way to handle it, but he also could have left her like homeless.
Right. But, I think,
So,
also I was reading on that page, that Love After Lockup Facebook page, a whole reading of their when they got arrested at a Walmart in West Virginia. I mean,
okay.
that had to have been while they were filming because she got out in West Virginia and stayed in town for a few days,
Yes.
and that's when
Mhm.
they got arrested.
That's still just the
And we
craziest
don't
shit
know
of all
anything about it.
people. No, I don't.
He
Why would they not film that part? Sorry.
he has like 500 something. He was stealing 500 something dollars worth of stuff from the
Yes, he
Walmart, and she
was.
had like
And then ran.
$11. Yeah, and then ran and then tripped in the grass. So, I mean, yeah,
He looks like he would trip on it. He looks like he trips in the grass like daily.
poor guy.
He does. Bless his heart.
So, Christine says to him, she goes, "It wouldn't matter who you're dating. I could be Mother Teresa or Princess Diana, but you like a grimy prison rat." And he's like, "Okay." And then she goes, "I'm Aladdin and you're Princess Jasmine." And then the cat is Abu. I was like, "What are you talking about?"
Yeah, her comparisons are not comparing. Like
No, it didn't
she,
make
she's
sense.
she's insinuating that the ex-wife, which is just jealous that he's dating someone else. I
Mm.
feel like no, it totally has to do with your record.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
Um, So they sit and talk, and he says, like, I didn't know how hard it was going to be with her, with the ex. And Christine goes, well, I'm stuck up on the 3rd floor like I'm in jail. I can't even walk around my own house. I can't put photos up of my own family. I can't move
Mhm.
around. And then he tells her she's being ungrateful and overreacting. And then she says, the problem
Mm.
is you're more scared of her than you are of me. And by the way, you shouldn't be scared of either one.
Yeah, but that ex-wife can take your ass back to court and you can lose your kids and lawyer fees and all that.
True.
So yeah, I think the ex-wife could do a lot more damage to his life than well, then again, it is Christina. She looks like she could fuck some shit up and also steal all the money of your in your bank account at the same time.
Mhm. I will tell
Yeah.
you too that they flashed back to last week where people were upset about her jacket, and it is exactly what I said. It is a motorcycle jacket where it has lots of zippers, so you're supposed to cross over and zip the zipper this way, but, like, if you couldn't fit it that way, then you would have
Yeah.
to zip it straight up the middle, and that's why those flaps were hanging down because 'cause they're supposed to cross. Anyway,
So it was too small.
the jacket did not fit. Yes.
Well, because he's been buying all of her clothes. That's why she keeps wearing these Little House on the Prairie dresses all the time. Like
But remember,
he
all her
he
clothes are in his place, so that's probably a jacket she had from before she went in, and it probably did
well
fit her
did
before she went
oh,
in.
that's true. But did you also notice that upstairs she's not done anything to that whole pile of her stuff that's just
No.
in that section? Like you've got 5 to 6 hours a day. You can't go downstairs. Why can't you? This should be clear.
Yeah, if it doesn't fit, go ahead and send it over to Goodwill.
Yeah.
Um, so then he goes, "I gotta go to work. I was up too late." And she's like, "Well, that's your own fault." So the talking head, she goes, "This is what he does. He doesn't like a conversation, so he leaves, and he's passive aggressive and he speaks in corporate jargon speak that nobody understands," which I thought was hilarious.
I, yeah, that I cannot, and I can see that.
We're gonna workshop this and circle back around. And um, so in the talking head, of course, we find out he's been keeping something from her. He's afraid to tell her. So next shot of him is him sitting in the passenger seat of his car, parked in the middle of two spots. I hate
I hate when
taking up
people
two
do that.
parking spots. Come on now.
It's unnecessary.
And he's like in a
Yeah.
Prius. Um,
Mhm.
and he's doing a job interview in the passenger seat, and he's saying, his attributes are that he's outgoing and he'll take on any job and he loves to learn and blah blah blah. And then he tells us that he lost a job about 2 weeks ago. He got laid off, and he hasn't told her because she'll be freaked out. So he's just been lying about going to work. He has 2 to 3 months of severance, and then he's a bit worried that he won't be able to pay rent. So they only have 2 to 3 months worth of severance to live on. That's the concern. But surely he could find
Well, you
some
remember
kind of job.
you remember me telling you I said the big secret is gonna be he doesn't have a job.
Oh, no, I don't remember that.
Well, I did say it.
Well, I believe you. I believe you.
This just goes to show you guys she doesn't listen to me.
I listen, but when we're done, it goes right out, and then I reserve room for tomorrow's episode, which is 90 Day, and then after
This
that,
is
I take that information out, and then I get ready for the next episode, which is Bravo.
okay.
I gotta
I
clear
can
out the
dig it.
space once a
I can
day. I
dig
gotta
it.
clear out the space.
Yeah, I knew it was gonna be this because what else could it be with this guy? He's just not the type to have an extra girlfriend on the side. He's not
No,
dealing drugs or anything like
no,
that. I'm like,
mm-mm.
either that or he kicks cats, and we know he doesn't kick cats because he's got cats in the house.
Chunky,
So yeah,
chunky, chunky bonkers. What's that one's name? Chucky Bonkers. Is
and
that what's
and
his name?
and Ross something like that, and the other is Roscoe, which that's a beautiful cat. That is not like your that's an
Oh, the
expensive
one
cat.
with those one with the spots.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
cat costs some money.
yeah.
Yeah.
Um, so he also said, he's glad that she's got a job, but he's concerned about her working in a restaurant because there's a lot of drugs in restaurants. Okay.
I've heard that's true.
Well,
Like,
I think if you're going out afterwards to party, then sure. But I think that's any job,
true.
you
True.
know. So over at Ram's Head, she's talking. He's got these new friends. It's been great, and he doesn't really want her to be in the service industry, but she likes it. And by the way, who is he to tell her what to do? She got a job right out of prison. Shut up. You know.
And he's currently unemployed.
Right. So it's not
Yeah.
for him to judge what kind of job she gets.
Nope.
And he's been really supportive of her comedy career.
Okay, you know what?
Hmm. Interesting.
She has not done or said one thing that was funny. The only thing that we have laughed at about her is her fucking jaw and those chokers she keeps wearing. That's
I,
it.
I,
Nothing else has been funny.
we have not found her to be like, oh God, okay, we could tell she's got a sense of humor. She's funny.
No,
No.
there's no, she's got like a borderline bad personality, number one.
Yeah.
And now, like, and I take offense to that because, producer James did stand-up comedy professionally for years.
Yeah.
And I cannot stand it when someone's like, oh, I can do stand-up comedy.
No, I think
No,
it's
just
so
because
hard.
it is
So hard.
very hard. you can be a very funny person in real life.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean that you can do stand-up comedy. So this just really just frosted
No.
my cookies when she
Yeah,
said that.
I would never even attempt it. So, and then she's telling her coworker, she goes, "Yeah, I've been working on my jokes, but in prison I had a captive audience." And then she waits, and finally, like 5 seconds later, the one guy goes, "Oh, I get it."
I get it. Yeah, that's exactly how her stand-up routine is gonna go.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So the friends are like, "We want to meet Julian. We want him to come out so we can all meet you and we can all go out and have fun." And she goes, "Yeah, when I was in prison, I wanted to show him how much I really loved him. So I got a tattoo of his name," and she shows it. We've seen it. It's on her chest. And they go, "Oh my God, who did that?" She said, "My bunkie." Did that make you happy?
Yes, it did. I'm like,
She said,
hey,
"My
bunkies
bunkie."
unite. Yes.
Um, so Julian comes to pick her up and she's like, "Hey, you want to go out with us and get a drink?" He goes, "No, you go ahead and have fun." She was like, "Are you mad that I'm going to go?" And he goes, "No, I'm just tired. I got to prepare for my interview." And she goes, "What?" Now, do we
Hmm.
think this is fake or do we think he actually slipped
Um,
up?
oh, I think he was upset and annoyed, which what she did is something that James does and it annoys me. Don't put me on a spot saying, let's go do this. No,
Right in
you
front of
could have,
people. Yes,
yeah,
yes,
you
yes.
could have texted me, you could have called me, we could have talked about this. I could have told you no over the phone. Now I
Yeah,
got to tell you no in front of your friends.
yeah.
I think he accidentally let it out. I think he was pretty annoyed. But that's just me. And I believe everything that these people do and say.
I know. I because of the way it was sort of filmed and the reaction, well, I was like, okay,
Mhm.
he did tell her, but this was planned, or they did a reenactment.
Okay.
And so she was like, "He's such a bad liar. I don't know what he's talking about." And he goes, "Okay, let me tell you. So I got laid off and I didn't want you to stress because that could cause you to relapse. But honestly, I've
Yeah.
been very freaked out, but I am sorry I didn't tell you."
And you know what? His reasoning behind it does make sense.
Yeah,
Like,
because he was just like, "I'll
I
fix it
can
before she
get
can
it.
find out." Yeah.
Yes. And lots of men do that.
hmm And the talking
Hmm.
head, she says, I am worried. I wonder what this means in terms of rent and food and lawyers for my children and our daily bills. We can't do all that on my salary."
Right.
So she also says it feels like a betrayal and it's off-putting that he would lie. And she said, "And he's hiding me from his kids. I haven't met anybody in his life, and I'm wondering, is there anything else I need to know?" Probably not.
I no, I would just be more concerned with those charges from Walmart where y'all got caught stealing. Like,
Yeah, I would too.
yeah. Hmm.
Mm, mm.
I think this is all that he's hiding.
Still need, are they going
I
to address
hope.
that Walmart thing? I mean,
Evidently, maybe that'll be like end of the season. What do you call it?
yeah,
The black screen? The black screen
black
of
screen of
death?
death. Yeah,
Maybe it'll be on that
maybe.
because
Sometimes
it's
they don't give
already
us much.
happened.
Yeah.
Well,
So, all right, let's go to Kim and Joey. Why can't
oh
Joey
boy.
grow hair on his sideburns or above his lip? I don't understand it. I don't
He
like
may
it.
have alopecia or something like that.
Keisha,
I'm
no, he does
trying.
not. No, he does
I'm
not.
trying to help him out as much
No.
as I can because I'm not going to help him out anymore for this episode.
And I have a question. Okay, do you remember when we had Kevin from Arlington, Texas, who knocked the K out of Curtis?
Yes.
Okay,
Why did I not get that copyrighted?
I don't
I
know.
could have been making money because bitches,
Everybody,
I've seen bitches make t-shirts out of that one.
yeah,
That was like my Roman Empire. I will probably never again say something as funny as that.
that's not true. You say funny stuff all the time, but that was pretty funny.
That was yeah. Damn. All right.
Um, so Kevin, the hottest piece of ass in
Uh-huh.
Arlington, Texas, as I deemed him, I have decided that Joey is the hottest piece of ass in Eden, North Carolina,
Yeah, maybe so. He might be.
because
Well, he's had a piece of everybody's ass.
why is everybody after this guy? I don't get it.
I don't know. He I've not seen anything striking about his personality or he doesn't seem to have any charm
And his
about him.
I don't even see old pictures where I was like, "Okay, he was good looking when he was younger," so then it doesn't matter because if you knew him when he was younger, you might still think he's good looking when he's older, but no, it doesn't seem like it.
They showed that one picture of him from when he was younger. He just looks the same.
Looks the same. He
I
looks
don't
like a
know.
meth head is what he looks like. Um, So they're getting the kids ready for school, and he's like, "Yeah, I got to go get new tires on the car." And she goes, "Okay, remember your budget." And he tells us, he needs to find a job pretty quickly, and he does have his HVAC certification, so there are things he can do. Okay,
Yeah.
get
Yeah,
on it.
that's good. Yeah.
Um, and he says he didn't realize how much he would be doing at home to help out with the boys. He's not used to it yet. He's got to help get them dressed. He's got to feed them. And also, don't leave your two young children alone with this felon. I
They
mean,
always do.
yeah.
They do. Yeah. And then not to mention he said he forgets to feed them sometimes.
Well, that was a joke. That was a joke. I think when he's got the
Oh,
kids, I think his mom comes over.
also, was that really a joke? I
Yeah, it was a
really
joke.
thought he was serious
No, he
when he
said
said
sometimes I forget to feed him, and she just looks at him, and they both laughed. And the one of the little boys laughed too. Yeah.
that. And the other was like, he really does forget to feed us
I'm
sometimes.
hungry. Is it breakfast time? In her talking head, she tells us she spent about $15,000 on Joey, and he likes to shop a lot, and he is spending every dime of her life savings.
Well, no, 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 no. You are allowing him to
Yes.
spend all of your savings.
And the
You
money you
you
gave him
are
in prison was your own choice. Yes.
yeah, so he's only literally he's only doing what you are allowing him to do because he doesn't have a debit card. He doesn't have a checking account. You're giving him your debit card.
That's right.
No.
That's right. So in his talking head, he goes, "Yeah, I'm gonna go get some tires and some rims, and I gotta meet up with my friends BJ and Frank." Now the shop guy is helping him, and he's pointing out these rims that he likes, and he buys them for $2,200. Now, what do you think about the shop guy? He called him boss man about 14 times.
Yeah, I have a dad who likes to call people stuff like that, like it's chief. He'll call someone chief or big
Chief,
guy.
yeah, big guy,
He's just
boss,
one of
yep.
those. Yeah,
Mhm.
he's so it's just one of those things. I was more concerned the fact that he felt the need to have rims on a mom car. That is a mom vehicle that he's driving around in.
And I don't even understand the concept of
I
rims.
know. I know.
Like, it's sort of like the same concept with the gauges in the ears, like you hole out the tire and make the tire really tiny to put that big rim in there?
So, like in Houston, it's a big thing with like spinners.
Yeah,
You'll have people that have them like I don't even know what you call them, rims that like come all the way out. So
yeah.
it's like a whole big culture about that. I don't care about it because I'm gonna fuck up any rims that are on my car anyway. Because I'm gonna hit a curve, I'm gonna hit this, I'm gonna hit that. So the fact that you spend $1,700 on rims to me is insane. You could have bought a Louis Vuitton.
Yes, yes. Um, oh, that reminds me of something funny. I'll send it to you.
Okay.
Speaking of Louis Vuitton, okay, that reminds me. This message is sponsored by Greenlight. A new school year is starting soon, and personally, I cannot believe that my kids are grown up and I don't have anybody to drop off at the first day of school anymore. It's so sad for me. But if you're a parent and you want to make this new school year an opportunity for your kids to learn important life skills and continue building independence, I'm recommending Greenlight. I've told you guys that I used Greenlight for my kids when they were in elementary and middle school. It was a complete game changer. Greenlight is a debit card and a money app for families where the kids can learn how to save, invest, and spend wisely, and the parents can keep an eye on their kids' new money habits. You got to keep an eye on it, guys. You don't know what they might do. You can also help kids get into their fall routine more easily than ever with the chores feature that lets you assign chores and automate the allowance. This is rewarding kids for getting things done around the house. This was the biggest thing for us. And also, they had different chores in my house on the weekend during the week because during the week, I wanted them to focus on their homework. So if you want even more out of Greenlight, you can upgrade to their Infinity plan. Their Greenlight Infinity plan includes the same access to financial literacy education that makes Greenlight a valuable resource for millions of parents and kids, plus built-in safety to give you peace of mind. The Greenlight Infinity, the teens can check in without actually needing to check in, thanks to sharing the family location. They can also call for help if they need it with an SOS alert that connects them to family members, 911, or both. And there's even a feature that detects car crashes and will connect your young drivers to a 911 dispatch and alert emergency contacts if that is needed. Wow, that's a cool feature, guys. So no matter what features make the most sense for your house, Greenlight is an easy, convenient way for parents to raise financially smart kids and for families to navigate life together. So sign up for Greenlight today and get your first month free when you go to greenlight.com/pinkshade. That's greenlight.com/pinkshade to try Greenlight for free. Greenlight.com/pinkshade. Okay, so he buys them. It's $2,200. And he goes, Kimberly's got online checking and she'll probably see it. But, I just need to do something nice for myself. I never get anything nice for myself. So it is what it is.
Here we go again with these prisoners. I needed to do something nice for myself because I just got a new job. I just got a master's degree. I just finished treatment for an illness or something like that. I deserve this. No, you were fucking in prison for dealing meth. You don't deserve anything.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah. So
Fucking rims.
now Joey's playing pool while they're waiting on his rims to get put on his car, and he's getting a lot of texts. And so he shows them to the guys and was like, "Man, this girl is chasing me, man. I thought she just wanted to tell me, like, hey, she's happy for me because I'm with Kimberly. But look, man, she wants me back. She's not over me. She's just blowing up my phone." This is some
Because
ex that he
she
has.
has your number and you haven't blocked her yet.
Right.
He
So
likes the attention.
yes, he does. And the talking head, the buddy goes, yeah, he's doing something to lead her on. Like he's just talking to her for his ego. There's no reason. There was no reason this girl would think any of this. Great point.
Who was this, Frank or was this BJ?
I
I
don't
can't
know.
remember which God was.
I couldn't
But
either.
yes, he has all the sense that Joey lacks right there.
Yeah. So now she gets home from work and we see a shot of him cooking in the kitchen and she walks up to the door and she's, coming from her teacher's assistant job and
Mhm.
sees the rims and was like, you've got to be fucking kidding me. And she walks in and goes, hey, where'd you go today? He goes, I went and got tires. And she goes, you were supposed to only get tires. I need my debit card back. I can't believe you did all that. How much was this? And he goes, well, the tires will be 500. And so they just made it 2,200. She goes, what? And he goes, the tires were already going to be 500. So I just thought I would add 1,700 to the 500.
$1,700.
It
He
wasn't
was
a,
really speaking like he was speaking some logic to her. Like,
like,
doesn't this make sense to you?
it was only $100 more. No, it was $1,700 more.
I mean, even with James and I, if we're going to spend like a certain big number on something,
Yeah.
we like call the other one and say, hey, I'm going to grab this because
Yeah.
it's like not like a normal amount for a purchase.
Yeah.
And we give each other the respect to say, yeah, okay, go. Yeah. We don't do that with everything, but if I'm going to go blow $1,000, I'm going to consult with him first. Say, hey, I see this. I want it. It's $1,000.
Yes.
I mean, and we're married.
Yes. Yes. And so she's just looking at him and he
$1,700.
goes, listen, I never do nothing for myself. I just wanted to do something for myself.
Go
And
get a job for yourself.
she goes, you did enough for yourself already. And that's how you ended up where you are. And then she goes, nobody at the elementary school cares about your rims and your tires and the pickup line.
Because that's the only place you're going.
It's the only place he's supposed to be going. So then she's like, we have so many expenses coming up. We've got this engagement party. Like I have to get a dress for it. He goes, I don't care about that. I don't care. I don't care about the party. I don't care about the dress. I don't care. And she goes, you don't care that we're having a wedding. He goes, I go to the courthouse. I don't care. And she's all mad. She's all mad.
I mean, I
It will
get
be
it,
her
but
third wedding.
and at the same, she's still married.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're having an engagement party and she's not divorced yet.
And she's not divorced yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in her talking head, she says, he's just been going through money like water. He just got out and he needs to contribute. And, he needs to contribute before he spends. I'm over it. That's my money. I'm not letting him do this anymore. And this is where I made my notation that how is Joey the hottest piece of ass in Eaton, North Carolina?
I don't know. Clearly, they like men with big hips there because that is like.
Ever since you pointed it out, I can't not see it.
I don't know how you did not see it as soon as he walked out of that prison. That is, I'll say, God damn.
I know.
They googly moogly. That ass is juicy. I mean, there's women at the plastic surgeon saying, I want hips like Joey. Like, they are.
Oh my gosh. By the way, thank you for sending me last week the screenshots of Chantel and that girl from that thing that Chantel did that was like an ad for a nightclub. And I thought that other girl the whole time was Chantel. Now, so Chantel has done things to her face, but that was not her ass and that was not her face.
Oh, that wasn't even that girl's ass. That was like the back of a fucking cutlass that she's carrying around. That thing was huge.
Ah!
It's like, but their faces were very similar. So, because
Yeah.
I mean, we all thought that was Chantel until we were all like, "Wait a minute, yeah." But
Like,
yeah,
so
that girl
Chantel got
had
her face Kardashianized. Yeah. Yeah.
and she's such a pretty girl. I don't know why she has done all of this to her face.
I don't either.
Why not?
Okay. Let's go to Hope and Arthur. Now, you
Mm,
watched the interview with Arthur with according
hmm
to Amber. So let's hear about that.
hmm So it started off very weird, like
Uh-huh.
they were having a conversation before the interview started, because this is what you can hear him saying. Yeah, I said I didn't know she had a gun, but that was not correct. I didn't know she had the gun on her. And
Mm,
then they quickly go into the interview. So
mm.
they're talking about the whole incident with Hope shooting herself and why he's in jail. I don't know why that was cut off or anything like that. But basically the interview was him talking about last week's episode
Mhm.
and
And is
his
this just an
breakdown.
audio interview or was he on the screen?
No, it's just audio.
Okay.
Yeah. He's locked up right now. He says that they have him on lockdown 24/7 because he's on TV. Whatever cell he's in, he showers in there, he eats in there, he does everything in there. He says it's not good for his mental health.
Mm.
He said that, what we saw was actually a whole day of like him having a breakdown. And what we saw was just like the high point of it. He said that all day he just not been feeling well. He said talked about the shit with her, him seeing that picture in the closet. He just was not feeling it. Everything was just bad. And then he's just like, look, literally, I saw demons coming up out of the ground. And he said, I for sure thought they were coming to take me to hell for all
Oh.
of the things that I had done.
Oh.
And he says that like construction workers, their faces were like distorted. And she asked, did you tell them to call your mom or did they just call your mom? He said that they just decided to call his mom. And he said he did not want his mom to come there because in his head, if she came there, she was going to be taken to hell too because they're related.
Oh, that's so
Yeah,
sad.
he said that he had like the head producer was praying over him. It was just like it was really, really bad. So then he starts talking about,
Did he say that
him
they took
being
him to the hospital or
he didn't say that.
yeah,
He didn't
okay.
say. So he said she did ask him, like, are you still in contact with your mom? Because apparently there was some post that he made and he didn't mention his mom. He said that he's not currently talking to his mom.
Hmm.
He said that his uncle came down to see him, and his uncle said, the reason why I haven't gotten you out yet is because everyone is telling me not to. And Arthur was like, well, who's everyone? He goes, everyone, like everyone who's related to you, basically, which I guess that included his mom. So he said that really hurt his feelings. So he has not been calling his mom. Apparently, his uncle is supposed to be getting him an attorney to help him fight this case. So
Is he in touch with Hope?
he did not mention that.
Seems like that would
So
be important to know. And did he say that same line about the gun during the interview at all?
no, that's just it. That there was no mention of that at all. Like I said, it was like they were having a conversation
Yeah.
and she almost didn't know she had hit record and we caught the tail end of that conversation.
Uh-huh.
So
Because you know
also
how
something
sometimes they'll do like a teaser clip at the front of an episode? So it's like if he said that
no, it
in it,
was
maybe it was
no.
different. Oh, okay.
No, So something else that happened was, according to Amber, she can like find anyone, and people were not able to find Hope's social media. Then someone all of a sudden like, I got it, and they
Mm.
found her IG page, and I think people are just like really like, you need to go and write that letter, get him out. This, and that. What's taking you so long? Basically, like harassing her about it because she said she was going to do it and she just hasn't done it.
Well, she's on that Facebook group too.
What'd she say?
I sent you a screenshot of it. It's like pinky
You did?
hair. Yeah, it was, let me look. I sent you a screenshot of it, or maybe I screenshot it and then forgot to send
I
it to
don't think you
you,
sent it to me.
which would be probably
On
about right.
brand.
On brand. Yeah, I sent it to you Friday at 5
You
o'clock.
did?
La Pinky.
How did I miss that?
La Pinky.
I must have been doing nasty girl things and totally looked over your what you sent me.
She says, I
I
ain't
totally missed this.
I ain't tripping off y'all dragging me or whatever, but I just want to say
I
my
see
two
it.
cents. Number one, mental health is very important for everyone. I had no idea what was happening and wasn't allowed outside until I forced my way to find him. Number two, everything you see on TV is not everything that happened. Editing is an amazing tool. And as far as my fried hair, y'all must have never been to Texas in the summer, and I cut that shit off after filming. Okay.
A lot of us live in Texas during the summer,
Uh huh.
and a lot of us, our hair doesn't look like Hope's hair. And they have lots of products to help people with that hair type so their hair doesn't look fried. Mila has her hair type, and Mila doesn't walk around looking like Krusty the Clown because we pay good money for her to have good hair products for her curly
Oh,
hair.
oh
So
my God.
there
Keisha.
goes that lie. Yeah.
Yeah, La
She's full of
Pinky.
shit.
La Pinky is her name on that Facebook group. All right. So we're
She's not
one
a good person.
I don't think so. So we're 1 month out of prison. Arthur and Hope are in the car going to a mosque. She's
I didn't
dressed.
think we were going to see them anymore after last week.
Oh, it was like nothing
I
happened.
thought
It
they
was like
were done.
everything's
Yeah.
fine. Everything's fine.
Hmm.
Okay, so they're in the car and they are driving to the mosque. And he says he's been talking to a therapist and he's finding it
Good.
difficult. He's finding it difficult because, to
Mm.
get out all this trauma and stuff. But he says he grew up Muslim. His dad was Muslim. It'll make him feel stronger and better so he can get better if he goes to a mosque and kind of tries to get back to his roots. So they meet the imam at the mosque. His name is Munshi. And he is like, okay, listen, normally ladies come in a different entrance, but we'll
Hmm.
allow it because you're new. And so they're talking. And our talking head, Hope says, I've been through some dark days in my life, and Arthur was the light for me. And so I want to be the light for him. And I don't want to disrespect anybody's culture by being there. And, I believe in God and these things. So she's exploring it. She's exploring possibly becoming Muslim.
This is the best we've seen her look.
And she seems very sincere and
Yeah.
interested. Yeah. Um, so they talk to Munchie, and I think it's his wife is Marta. And
Hmm.
Hope says she was raised Christian, and Marta says she was also raised Christian. And Arthur explains to them that he was in prison, and he said, I lost a lot of my Muslim knowledge, and I'd like to try to get it back.
Hmm.
And the imam says, everyone is welcome. We're not here to judge you. It's never too late if you want to get back in it. Very sweet and welcoming. And then they say Marta needs to get out of the men's area and go to the women's only area. So
Hmm.
Marta and Hope go to the ladies' area while the men do praying. And Hope says, normally I dress a lot more revealing. So for me, to become Muslim would be an adjustment. And Marta says, I used to be the same way, and everything is baby steps. And the Quran does say you need to hide your beauty so you don't draw attraction from other men. Now,
That's what Hope likes to do.
I was about to say, so, as we learned on Forbidden Love, that show that I covered, that is the
Hmm.
reason. Now, also, on the other side of it, you could teach men not to be gross and gawk at women's bodies. That would also be
Yeah.
helpful. Yeah. It doesn't
But
have to
men
be
don't
on
ever
the
do
woman.
anything right. So
Yeah.
it takes a woman to have to do what
To
needs to be
be
done
in
in this
charge of
case.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So then Hope tells us that when she was like 15 or 14 or even
Hmm.
younger, maybe did she say,
Hmm.
she was sexually assaulted at church by a family friend. So she says, this way of worshiping is different because you do have to cover yourself. And so somebody couldn't look at me or want to do anything
Right.
to me. She said, this doesn't leave such a bad taste of religion in my mouth. Now, I
Right.
don't think she's going to be able to cover herself like that, but you know,
I don't think that she. wa- Well, I'll just say this. I
yeah,
appreciated that she wore clothes that were her size because she
yes,
normally does not do that
yes,
at all.
that's right.
And to me, she looked so like, I mean, this wasn't like the cutest outfit. It looked like
Yeah,
prison wear, but
it did.
it
Yeah.
fit. Her hair was tamed in the summer heat. It was
Uh-huh.
tamed.
Slick straight back.
And
Yep.
she looked she looked good for Hope.
Yes, she did.
Hmm.
And the talking head, he says that when he is there with, the mosque and doing all this, it helps him feel at peace. And
Hmm.
now Arthur is talking to Munchie and he says, I've done some really bad things and I've heard the devil whispering to me, but I don't want to be a part of that anymore. And Muncie says, you're welcome and you should come here as often as you like. You're welcome to come anytime. You're trying to get back to it. Like we're here to support you.
Right.
So then Marta tells Hope, it's great you want to support Arthur because in Islam, the woman is there to support the man and the man is the head of the house. And then Hope says, well, how do you feel about a man who just takes money from a woman and has no job?
That
Uh,
is not the case.
I mean, okay. And Marta says, well, he's responsible. First of all, they're not married, number one. But Marta
Right.
says he was responsible to provide for you 100%. And a man should be ashamed to take any money from a wife. And if you make any money, it's your money and he's not allowed to touch it. I
I
was
mean,
like,
I
well, okay,
like that
I
part.
like that
I
part.
like that. I like that. I'm like, preach, preach.
I like that
Say it
part.
loud for the people in the back. But it was unfair to Arthur because he literally just got out of prison
Right.
and is very much so struggling. See, this
Yes.
is where I don't like Hope. Like there was no reason for her to even say that because that wasn't 100% of the truth. You know
Yeah.
what I
And then to
mean?
say
Like,
he should be ashamed. And well, that was the deal you
yeah.
guys made that when he got out, you would support him.
And this is where, and this happens, we see this happen a lot. We see these people who have promised the people in prison, hey, get out, come live with me, I'll support us. And then 2 days later, they're like, you need to get a job. Well, if
Yeah.
you weren't able to afford the lifestyle for the two of you, you should have sent that person with their family.
Yeah. Right. And just visit.
So,
Yeah.
exactly.
So, Arthur and Hope now are going to a sewing class, and he needs to learn
Hmm.
to use a sewing machine. She got one for him, but he doesn't know how to use it. He's used to doing it all by hand, so they need to learn. So, they're talking while they're sewing, and she says, "Have you done any applying for jobs?" And he goes, "I mean, why are you bringing this up right now?" She goes, "Well, I just think
Right.
you need to try to find a job." And the talking head, he says, I have put in 113 applications, and I'm hoping for
Wow.
5 to respond. Like, this is annoying that she's doing this.
Yes.
So Hope says, now that you have these sewing skills, you can work on your craft. You could even work on my wedding dress. And he goes, oh, okay. She goes, if we ever were to get engaged, he goes, we are engaged. I've already asked you to marry me. And she goes, how? How are we engaged? And he goes, I proposed to you when I was in prison, like I did. And
Hmm.
she says he got on a knee and proposed to somebody on social media. And so she deserves the same. What? Huh?
Okay, there's a couple of things here.
Okay.
Number one, if Arthur is going to make Hope's wedding dress, he could get that done in 30 minutes because we know she doesn't want much covered up. So that's an easy task.
Okay.
Number two, uh, he probably did. He looks like the type of guy who would just fall in love and propose to someone. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and the worst thing a woman can do is go back and look at what a guy did with some other bitch at some
Yeah.
point in time. Like
Don't
you're
forget, she
looking
was
to make
also
yourself
cheating.
angry.
She was also cheating, remember?
And I think she's probably cheating now with
Yeah.
like I think she's just a cheater. That's what her deal is. And
Yeah.
I think she just hasn't been very fair to him. And I including right now, she's stealing his moment. Like you
Yeah.
got him this great gift, but all you're doing, and I think he mentioned this in the interview that she just kept going on and on and on and on and on and on. Like, let him have his moment. Like,
Yeah.
we want to see him do this.
Yeah.
But now
Yeah.
you're bitching.
Yeah. Yeah, all of it. And so, okay, so he says, "Why are you bringing that up? Why are you bringing that
Mhm.
up?" And she says, "Well, you know, um, you proposed that girl." And he goes, "That shit with that other girl was fake. It was fake. It fizzled
Right.
out. So it was fake. Like it didn't last."
Yeah.
So in her talking head, she says he proposed to his ex on social media within months of being with that girl. And I think I deserve even more than that. And so he says, look, when I decide we want to be like officially engaged and work on getting married, then we can go on that journey, but we're not there right there. And she's like, what?
Well, he's
Um,
talking sense, like he's
yes,
right.
yes, he's right.
You just had some other guy's photo in your closet.
Right. Why is it in your closet? That's weird. That's
Yeah,
weird.
he mentioned that. He was like, why does she have that there? Why does she want to go back and reminisce about this?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so he says, I'm not whole. So I don't know how he thinks I can give myself to her. And also she's
Yeah.
hiding me from her family. So that's annoying. Yeah.
That's lots of he may be struggling with his mental health, but he is making perfect sense right now and he's able to articulate it very well.
Yeah. I just God, I hope they're not together and
She's a nasty person.
I
She
hope he
just
goes
really
back to
is.
his family and maybe
I hope he does
somebody
too.
would pay for him to get that head tattoo removed. Um,
I think we should start a GoFundMe for that.
I know we should. Okay, so this week we heard Zeruiah herself say it's Zeruiah.
Zeruiah. Yes. Amen. We finally have it. Yes. I noticed that too. I said, okay, it's Zeruiah. Thank
It's
you.
Zeruiah. We're on episode 8, and we just figured out how to say her name. So Zeruiah, I've written it down. ZOO-REE-UH. Zeruiah.
And
So
we're also on the third week of this same scene.
in the same, yeah, with the
Yeah.
poor
Mhm.
Karen.
Mhm.
So we open with Karen saying, I don't know, some boy was up in here and they were having an affair. Yana told me, I don't know.
Mhm.
Yana told me, I don't know. So then Zeruiah calls her sister Zion and says, I can hear Karen in there talking about my affair. And I'm like, he already knows, you dumb fuck. I cannot believe she's in there calling and da da da. Because she's saying, Karen is telling production about this.
Yeah, she didn't want this to be televised
No, she didn't.
because she
So,
wanted us to think that she was this perfect girl, this perfect
mhm,
PK girl. But no, she's a little
mhm.
nasty. Yeah.
So in the talking head, she tells us, we were not in a good space a while ago, and I developed feelings for another guy, and I was sexually intimate with him. And Troy knows about it, and he has made it very clear that when he came out of prison, it's a clean slate and we're starting over.
Mhm.
And,
Mhm.
while Troy was in prison, he told his mother about this. They had a conversation, and his mother encouraged him to stay with me. And she told him, if my man was in prison, I wouldn't be holding anybody down.
I mean,
She
we've
says,
talked about this before.
this is not new information. Um, you know, uh, she's just trying, Karen or Yana is just trying to mess with him. Something fishy's going on. I don't know why they're bringing this up. It's not new information. It's old information. Everybody has known about it.
But it's
So,
good information to us, and
but
we
we like
needed
to
to
hear it.
know it. Yes,
Yeah.
we do.
So she's yelling at Karen through her bedroom door. And this is when Karen's just got her just boobs out, just bread bra, just everything bouncing around. And
I
she's
like the fact that she's yelling at Karen through a door. She
I,
won't yell at Karen like outside in the same room.
she's yelling through the door saying, "This is not new information." And she's like, "Yana just told me this." And she's yelling, yelling, yelling. Karen's boobs are hanging out. Troy is walking around outside going, "I don't want to be a part of this. I don't want any part of this."
You can
And
hear them screaming from
yes,
outside.
yes,
Oh
he's walking
man.
around. So he walks in. He walks in, and Karen goes, "Wait!" She jumps on him. He's like, "Whoa."
Yes.
She's like, "Why you left me alone here with your crazy wife?"
Because Zeruiah is just like screaming,
And that room
screaming,
is
screaming,
tiny. She's in
screaming.
that tiny room yelling.
She is like losing her mind. Like she doesn't even know who she's screaming at this point. She's just screaming at everyone. It's kind of disturbing to watch.
It's very disturbing. So he tries to open the bedroom door to talk to her, and Zaria tells him, "Get out of the house. You fucked up my life." And then she throws the ring out, and then they keep showing it on the floor. Um, Now the cameramen are all around, and Karen starts taking her mic pack off, and she's telling Troy, "Pack up, just pack up, so we can go to my
Right.
house. Just pack. Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's get going." So he goes to Zaria's door and goes, "Hey, I'm gonna give you all your stuff." Now I don't know if he meant
Right.
like the necklace or the wallet or the ring or like actual physical stuff that she had given him. But she opens the door and you get the fuck in here right now
Yeah.
and slams the door.
Yeah. After she already told him to leave her fucking house, you fucked up my life, get out of my life. Now
Yep.
come in. I want you in this room now because I want to yell at you directly in your face.
She is losing her mind and it sounds like
Yeah.
a demon has
It
possessed her.
does. Yes, she sounded totally possessed. I'm
She's
like,
like,
someone needs to call her mom and dad over here because she needs a sermon. She needs a
she
little
needs
bit
a
of
light exorcism, a light exorcism.
yes.
Yes. And she is screaming, and she was like, "Why the fuck did your mother say that? And why the fuck did you call her?" And he goes, "I didn't call. I haven't had my phone. Recall that you guys couldn't find me for 3 hours, so I didn't have my phone." Um, and she is still screaming in that demon voice, and it's like, "And
Yeah.
why the fuck did you put that on TV?" So
That's what she's really mad
that's the
about.
problem. Now we
Yep.
get it.
The truth is out. You wanted this perfect image of you always being dressed in green
Mhm.
and being this holy girl with your nonprofit organization and all of this good stuff.
Yep.
But she's a scallywag.
She is a demon. So
Yes.
Karen is in the dining room and leans is like leaning on the chair with her boobs out. Says to the producers, "I don't know. I mean, she was making it seem like it was new information." Talking about Yana. So the producer is saying, "Zeruiah, Zeruiah," and she opens the door. Zeruiah slams it on her,
Yes.
and the producer kind of jumps back and goes, "Excuse me, like I need to talk to you." Open the door, and she goes, "I
Yeah.
have my fucking clothes off." So
Well,
Troy's in
cause
there and
you
she's just taking her clothes off? Like, what's happening?
well, she threw the mic pack out and it was attached to her bra.
Right. So she
Yeah.
couldn't get her mic pack off, so she was taking her whole
She
entire
just took the
bra off.
whole yeah, because she has lost her fucking mind.
Yeah, and
This
that's
is
it.
bad, but it's so good.
That's how we end it. Um, so next week on Love After Lockup, Julian tells Christine he worries that people might not get her sense of humor because she's about to go on stage at a comedy club.
Or
Okay.
lack thereof,
Or
sense of humor.
we
Yeah,
just need one example of a joke.
yeah.
And it can't be I like to raw dog it and all that. Can't be
You
that's
know she's gonna make that sound on stage.
it's not enough to sustain it to talk about how much you love raw
Mm-mm,
dogging.
no.
So, Bianca is saying to it
I
seems
forget
like
about them. I
I
forget
know,
about that whole couple.
Bianca is saying it seems like to Daniel's family, she's saying, "I'm just gonna do what I wanna do, even if nobody likes it." And they're all looking at her like, "Girl."
Okay.
Um, it seems like Hope's sisters have arrived in town, and, the
Mhm.
one sister says to Arthur, "My sister is basically supporting you, so how do you see this playing out?" "Oh, it plays out with her shooting herself in the foot and saying, 'I did it?' Oh, okay. That's how it's gonna play out." Kimberly sees Joey's text, and she's mad that he's texting with this girl, and
Mhm.
then we see Zeruiah throwing something else at Troy. I mean,
And it's the same scene that we've been locked in for 3.5 weeks. So we got another week of it.
she's gonna be
This is
throwing more
crazy.
stuff out of that one bedroom. But, you know, we were saying one bedroom, but remember her son's got a bunk bed, so it
It's a
definitely
two
has 2
bedroom, but
2 bedrooms.
it's small. Yeah, it's small, but it's most definitely one bathroom.
Definitely 1 bathroom. Yeah, it's a small
Yeah,
place for lots of visitors. And that's
yeah.
it, and I gotta tell you, it was a good episode, it was jam-packed.
It was a good episode. Yeah, it really,
Do you
really was.
do you think we have 2 more episodes before Love After Lockup? Life After Lockup is what's next. Think we got
I think I calculated it, but you know my math is not always mathing. It seemed like this ends on a Friday and the following Friday is life after lockup. Like they're not even taking a week break.
No, I don't think they are, but my question is it gonna end on September 27th and then start on October 4th or whatever? Um, 1, 2, 3, 4, or is it ending on September 20th? Surely not. No, next week won't be they would have
Mm-mm.
said on the season
Mm-mm.
finale. So we got 2
Mm-hmm.
more, I think. I think we got 2
Yeah.
more.
Yep.
Okay, good, and then we'll have life after lockup. Now, tell me what you're talking about over there on the Libra Lounge with Keisha. All sorts of pop culture stuff.
I need to know what we're talking about because we're recording tonight and I don't
Oh,
have not yeah, I have not a clue. I just know we're recording. I'm like, oh yeah, I may need to do a show layout for myself so I can know what I'm talking about. But I don't know.
okay.
There's yeah, it's been a few things popping off in pop culture, not too much, but you know,
What about,
I get it.
Kim and Croy? I did see he said something like, "Enough was enough. I've had all this time of this narcissistic abuse," and I saw something about that.
Yeah, we talked about that last week. It's the
More of the
same
same.
shit. Yeah, it's just both of them do any and everything except for get a job. I'm like,
Right.
if you were both working, you wouldn't have time to be doing all this other shit. Like,
I guess you got
it's
paid to
the
be on the
work.
surreal life, though.
Yeah, but it couldn't have been that much to get them out of the debt that they're in.
No, I think probably if
Not
I
even
had to
close.
guess, they probably give him like $100,000.
I don't think they got that much.
You don't?
No.
Oh, maybe
I'm willing to
50,000.
bet I'm thinking $30,000.
Okay. How long do they stay in that house together?
I think it was 6. No, they're only there 2 weeks
2
in the
weeks.
house.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Hmm,
And the season was like 6 episodes, but they're only there for 2 weeks. I'm thinking 20, $30,000.
really? Okay.
Yeah.
Wow,
You
somebody
were
let us
being
know.
really nice about the 100,000. Like the show is about people who are kind of has-been, so like
Uh-huh. So they'll
they're
take
not at the
anything.
top of their career. They will
Yeah.
take anything. Yeah, that's why Kim was there. So yeah. Mhm.
Okay. It's just too bad. It's too bad.
Yeah,
Lot of kids
too bad.
involved. A lot of kids
A
involved.
lot of kids. Yeah. I yeah.
This week on Pink Shade, we've got, of course, Mugshot Monday. You're listening to now. Tuesday, we'll have 90 Day Before the 90 with Kimberly. That's really good.
That
Um,
show's scary. This
it's
season is scary.
there's some, and I met two of the new cast members that haven't been on yet. Vaya
Oh.
and Joe at that party in New York, and that Joe is
Mhm.
woo smoking hot.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was like, oh, excuse me, hello. Of course, Matt and Jake were like draped all over him. I was like, let the man breathe. And then Vaya she's the
Mm.
one that's coming up, and she's like a belly dancer slash vegan chef, and
Oh,
she's literally was it's a little bit of like it's a little bit of a Kim Zolciak vibe, like big blonde hair and then like a
okay.
tiny, tiny hot pink sparkly dress with like the boobs out and then like
Okay.
crystals on her eyelids. And but she was a treat. She was very fun to talk to.
Really?
Yeah,
Well,
she
Mary Payne,
was.
all I know is that I watched that first episode and half of the second episode, and I was like, this has to be fake. Like, these people cannot be
Yeah,
real. I was texting you and I was like,
yeah,
saying one thing, I was like, oh, never mind. I just saw this person do that. Like,
yeah, yeah.
this is something.
Yeah, and it's just gonna get wilder and wilder, I think, especially with that Brian and that engagement to Ingrid, because now we're finding out on social media that he was, like, fully married to somebody else while he was shooting the show, and he's been married 4 times and engaged, like, 20, like, he's a mess, the wheelchair guy.
This is
He's
a
like he
guy who's a quadriplegic.
Yes.
Okay, I have to tell you something funny.
Okay.
I was 44 years old and watching that episode with him before I fully knew what that quadriplegic meant, that you had damage in all 4 limbs.
Because quad means 4.
I know, Mary Payne. I didn't get it.
But what
I don't know, Mary
you just
Payne.
didn't
I
think about
don't
it.
know. I just never thought about it.
You just
And
never
when he
thought about it.
explained it, I said, oh, well, I'll be. I just never thought about it. And I was like, that makes perfect sense. Never thought about it.
Never thought about it. You know what,
Just
Keisha?
never did.
It's the learning channel. You're
It
learning
really
things.
is. Yeah. And I learned that I was like, it was mind blowing to me. I was like,
Yeah.
holy shit, that's what that means.
That happens to me sometimes where it's like something very basic I've heard my whole life, and I'm like, "Wait a minute. How come I never thought of that?"
That was the moment that I had right then and there. I was like, what? That means your legs and your arms.
Yes. Yes.
I
Look
know
at that.
you. I
Look,
know.
thank you. Thank you, Matt
Yep.
Sharp. Thank you, The Learning
Thank you.
Channel. Thank you.
Yep.
And then let's see, Thursday, I'm gonna have Brandy and Julie on to talk about Bravo. We're gonna be talking about the new episode of
Salt Lake
Real
City.
House of Salt Lake City. Yeah. And so
I
everybody just
cannot wait.
that episode will be out a little later than normal. Normally it drops like at midnight,
Mhm.
but we're going to wait so that they have time to see the episode so we can talk about it. And then I also have a bonus episode on Wednesday. This is fun. So, Keisha, I've told you about that Instagram account that I love, the Leighton Show, where's the guy who posts all
Mhm.
the dumb texts from your teenagers.
Mhm, mhm,
Um,
mhm,
I
mhm.
mean, I interviewed him. It was very fun. Very
Really?
fun. That's an episode.
Okay.
That's a bonus episode on Wednesday here on your feed, wherever you get your podcasts. Okay. We did it all. We did
Look
it
at
all,
that.
girl.
Look at that.
Thank you very much. And I'll see you next week. And guys, we did just find out Love is Blind DC edition is coming October 2nd, I think. Keisha and I've
Yeah.
already got our
Yeah.
screeners. We're working
Yeah.
hard. And
Yeah.
the minute those episodes drop, you'll have all the episodes right here. It'll be on the $10 level of Pink Shade Prime.
Yes,
We'll
can't
do it.
wait.
We're gonna do it. Okay, bye.